The Kaiser Foundation is out with a new poll on Obamacare, and there's a lot to learn from this. So, let me give you some specific numbers here. They say 30% of the American people want to expand what the law does. 19% want to move forward with implementing the law as it is. 4% don't know. 3% want none of these solutions or some other solution. 17% want to scale back what the law does. And here's the most important part, I think. Only 26% of the American people want to repeal the entire law. Only 26% want to repeal the entire law. What are the Republicans planning on doing? Repealing the entire law. So the exact thing that they're going to do moving forward is the thing that only 26% of people say, yeah, do that. 30%, so a plurality, want to expand what the law does. See, this is the thing. It's always misleading when people on the right talk about Obamacare because they frame it as, hey, it's terrible, wrong. American people don't like it, wrong. Gotta repeal it, replace it, repeal it, replace it. And then they always give vague non-answers to what to replace it with, too. You know, take away the lines around the states and let the insurance companies go wherever they want. That doesn't do anything to help the people. It helps the insurance companies' profits because they're just going to go to the state that offers them the lowest tax rate and set up shop there. That's it. So this idea that that's like a cure-all for people. Like, oh, this will fix the insurance company. No, or this will fix the healthcare system. No, it won't. Not at all. Okay, so expanding the law, 30%. So a plurality would rather go all the way to a public option or would go to single payer. So a lot of the anger at Obamacare, this is what people on the right refuse to see, is people like me who want to go further. In fact, a majority of Americans want a single payer system, according to a recent poll from Vox. So that shows you it's misleading to say, well, you know, the American people are against Obamacare. Yeah, but what percentage want to do what you want to do, which is repeal it? 26%, that's it. Okay, so the next is even more telling. This next chart is even more telling because it gives you even more specifics because they go policy issue by policy issue. So different provision by different provision. And as you can see here, almost every provision is overwhelmingly popular. So 85% of the American people want to allow young adults to stay on their parents' insurance plans until they're 26 years old. 83% want to eliminate out-of-pocket costs for preventive services. This is all stuff Obamacare does, by the way. 80% want to provide financial help to low and moderate income Americans who don't get insurance through their jobs to help them purchase coverage. So that's I guess in part the Medicaid expansion, but not really because the next provision lays that out. But that's like the subsidies. So the subsidies on the exchanges where, you know, middle-class people and low-income people get help in paying for their insurance. The American people like that idea. They like that idea. When it comes to Medicaid, they say, give states the option of expanding their existing Medicaid program to cover more low-income uninsured adults. 80% like that. That's the Medicaid expansion. Prohibit insurance companies from denying coverage because of a person's medical history. So that's the pre-existing conditions provision. They can't reject you for pre-existing conditions anymore. 69% support that. The only provision in the law that is unpopular is the individual mandate. Is the idea that you're forced by law to purchase private insurance coverage, which, by the way, is a provision that I agree it should be disliked because it's gross to have the government tell you, you have to buy X. No. If you're going to say I have to have something, motherfucker, provide it. I pay enough in taxes for your ass to provide whatever it is you're telling me I need. For you to just tell me I'm going to force you to go into the private marketplace, private for-profit marketplace, and buy insurance. Well, no, I don't want to be in that private marketplace. I don't want to give it to a rapacious health insurance middleman who's going to fucking price gouge me. If you're going to say, hey, you need healthcare, give me something to opt into and that you're providing. So at least a public option, but it really should be Medicare for all, where it just comes out of our taxes. And instead of our tax dollars going to kill innocent brown people overseas and going to give corporate welfare checks to ExxonMobil, maybe we should prioritize and have healthcare be like on the top of the list. So, but this is very telling because it shows that it's propaganda when Republicans say Obamacare is so unpopular, it's so this, it's so that. Have you spoken to, I don't know, the tens of millions of people whose lives have been affected for the positive by it? How about them? How do they feel about it? How about all the people who had pre-existing conditions and now they're covered? How about all the people who are 24 years old, unemployed, and they have no way of getting health insurance, but hey, now they can stay under their parents until they're 26? How about all that? How about the provision in the law which mandated that more money that the health insurance companies take in has to actually go to health care? There used to be insane, numbers. Like, it was like 50-50 in some companies where 50% of the money goes to overhead pay and fucking executive bonuses, and only 50% goes to actual health care. You're a health insurance company. They made it has to be like 80-20 or something like that. So it's propaganda to just say, people are against it, people are against it. No, only 26% of people want a full repeal. A plurality want to go further. And when you go provision by provision, the law is overwhelmingly popular. See, that's the thing. And we've seen this in other polls too. When you ask people, hey, you like Obamacare? Overall, just that broad question, when you don't bring up the specifics, people go, no, I dislike it by slim margins. Like 51% or 52% usually are like, no, I have an unfavorable opinion of it. When you ask, hey, do you like the Affordable Care Act? It shoots up. Then a majority of people like it. It's the same thing. Obamacare is just like this, slang term we use, offhand term. It's what we've dubbed it, even though that's not what the actual technical name of the law is. The technical name of the law is the Affordable Care Act. So it's also a lot of perception goes into it too. And this again goes back to Republican framing. How Republicans for so long just made horseshit arguments against Obamacare. Death panels, they want to kill your grandma. That's what they want to do. And they were so fervent and so consistent in their demonization of the law that the reaction by the public was not, that's a ridiculous claim. Really? Obama wants to kill my grandma? Stop being stupid. No, people's reaction was, ooh, shit. They are so certain that this law is horrific that if somebody asks me, hey, what are your feelings on it? I'm going to say, overall negative. So in other words, they push the spectrum of the debate so far to the right that even intelligent people are like, well, I guess something's got to be wrong with it because they're so certain of it. So, and this is where the Democrats fail on framing. Like I told you, if I was Obama, I would have been out there citing the statistics all day long. We covered however many million more people. We saved X amount of lives because of pre-existing conditions. And just list all the good things about the law and then do what Trump did with Carrier. I kept the jobs here. I'm tremendous. Believe me. I covered millions of people with health insurance. It's tremendous. Believe me. If you make these arguments, then you wouldn't need to go into the weeds of these polls to figure out, hey, is it really popular or is it not popular? Because again, like I just told you, only 26% of the American people want a full repeal. Only 26%. And the Republicans are like, we have a mandate. People are with us on this. We have a mandate. End of conversation. Well, no. More people want to go further. A plurality of people want to go further with the law, not go in reverse. And again, the specific provisions are overwhelmingly popular. When you go provision by provision, most of them people go, I love that, I love that, I love that, I love that. I guess the only one I really don't like is the individual mandate, which, by the way, I agree with them.